I think, have developed enough to be saying that the truth must be said. And now many people are saying the truth must be said. Look at the Ekiti people protesting against the victory of Tinubu. Look at the voting pattern in Lagos. Look at Kaduna voting. Look at the thing is, there are too many aspects. A person who is narrow-minded will just grab one aspect and take it up. Many people would be sorry and unhappy because my friend Tinubu won. In fact, even Tinubu himself, I think he should be praised for being so rich, being able to believe that money can do everything. And look at it, it was done. So the chairman of the INEC was said to have gone to meet him in the night of the election. And we hear all kinds of stories, which are not the ones I'm focusing on. I am now reinforced in my view about the feasibility of one Nigeria. I appeal to Yoruba, to Igbo, and to other groups to stay together. Let us work out a system, because we now know each other. We know each other enough, and we shouldn't allow any breakup of this country, because otherwise it is this INEC really means Nigeria should break up. The way INEC went about this election is just to say goodbye to Nigeria. But the truth has come out the opposite. Welcome, new Nigeria. And I want to thank you people for giving me the opportunity to thank Nigerians, for what they have done. And it is a matter of some of the elders and some of the youths meeting and finding a way to get out of this problem. It's not a matter of waiting to swear in somebody who didn't win any election.
Well, what are your expectations in terms of the way forward? The political parties, the other political parties say they will go to court to challenge the president-elect and the APC in court. But what are your expectations in terms of whatever happens, the way forward for Nigeria? Yes.
Yeah, my expectations are multiple. Of course, some people will go to court. In fact, that is another good thing. Maybe this will provide the justice system in Nigeria opportunity to come back to justice, because we have lost confidence in justice. But this may provide opportunity for the new Nigerian justice system to emerge. But beyond that, there should be a meeting of some groups in Nigeria, and I will appeal to some of the groups. Let me say it clearly, because I'm 85, and dying now is not too early. The Fulani should reconsider what they do in the leadership position they got in Nigeria. It will not be good to continue the way we are going and build enmity between the Fulani and all the rest of Nigeria. And I think it will not be in the interest of the Fulani. And Nigeria needs the Fulani. In some places I say, Nigeria is blessed with many talents from many tribes. And we don't want to lose the talents of the Fulani. But as you know, life is what it is. They cannot continue this thing the way they are going and not be chased out. Those who are not killed will have to leave. But that is the truth which I need to tell my people, because I like our people. I like our country the way it is now. We can call in a group, first of all, starting with Obasanjo and former elders, former leaders, some former governors, and tell them, look at this problem, solve it for us. What is the problem? How to continue? Because Nigeria ends. Nigeria ends if you say INEC is in charge. Therefore, INEC go and do whatever you have to do. Swear in Jamadan. If you do that, that's the end of the country, because nobody accepts injustice, clear injustice. So we should listen to our elders and the youths also. In fact, I would say, let the youth not start anything yet. Let them wait until the elders and the present people work on a solution. And after that, if it is not solved, then they take over their country the way they want it. But Nigeria has shown signs of maturity, shown signs of accepting brothers and sisters, shown signs of the longevity of one Nigeria and its greatness. And we cannot allow this INEC irresponsibility to determine the future of our country.
All right. Well, thank you, sir. So in the event that, because we can't be presumptuous with regards to, we can't presume the ruling of the courts if indeed the Labour Party goes ahead to, Labour and the PDP goes ahead to the tribunal. In the event that on May 29, the president-elect is sworn in, he said that he promised to industrialize Anambra State. He's made some key promises to the Southeast, particularly in the area of industrialization. In what ways would you want the Southeast represented in a Tinubu administration?
There will be no Tinubu administration. God in heaven knows it. And if there's Tinubu administration, there will be no Nigeria.
That's quite a heavy statement. At present, he is the president-elect, and we have been, sir, as an elder statesman, we have been enjoined to speak, words that wouldn't further heat up the polity. And so, whilst we understand your personal viewpoint, we also recognize the fact that substantially, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the president-elect of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and barring any court judgment, he would be sworn in on May 29. So in the event that he does emerge, what would happen?
I don't know. I don't know. I believe in God, and it's not. It doesn't appear to be the will of God that Tinubu should rule Nigeria. He doesn't hate. God does not hate Nigeria, but if it happens, well, we'll be here. So some people were saying things that are very annoying. They say, go and get your visa. that it will never come to that. It will never come to that. The law is clear. Even the declaration of Tinubu as winner is illegal. I'm not a lawyer, but I know how to read what is written there in English. So I read it and I found that it is not illegal. So,
but Dr. Ezeife, the reality is, barring any legal implications or legal judgments, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is president-elect, and we must learn to deal with that, because a lot of people will see your statement as inciting that says he will never be president. He is president-elect as we speak, and that's the reality on ground. And we must be able to reiterate that as much as possible.
The reality on the ground is that following INEC actions, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is president-elect as declared by INEC. That truth cannot be doubted. I mean, it is true. And then the question is, assuming nothing happens, and May 29 comes, and he swears he is sworn in, how do I see him performing, helping everyone? Oh, I don't know. He has many people whom, if he cannot do the work, he can delegate to some other people. But I think we have seen enough of such delegations. And I think we have enough people in this country that we should get the right person to do work for us.
Okay. I mean, Dr. Ezeife, I'd like to now ask you this. Peter Obi ran a very, robust campaign. He picked up votes in places, that people never expect him to pick up votes, doing quite well in some states, even in the deep north. The question will be, with all of this momentum that has been built now by the Nigerian people, how would you want them to proceed from here? And what would you be your advice to proceed from here?
In fact, my advice is that trusted senior experts should be gathered together to look at the election and propose ways of getting out whatever problems that's on the way. We cannot invite our young men to come and tear down the little that has been built. We cannot be so irresponsible as to look at big things and pretend they are not there, problems are not there. So I tell the truth a little bit. I know that what I may see as truth may not be right. So I would suggest that we pray to God to take over the running of our country for us by supplying us the kind of men like a passenger and T.Y. Danjuma, like Aya Debanjo, like Edwin Clark, like so many people who can come together and do a solution to this, give a solution to this problem. But if we just ignore it and say INEC has spoken, we may be in trouble.
Okay, sir. Most of the elites in the Southeast did not support Peter Obi. In fact, some of them openly condemned him and said they didn't think that he would represent the interest of the Southeast. But with what he has been able to do, not just for the Southeast, but also for the aggrieved young people of Nigeria and the middle class, do you see Igbo elites turning around and supporting him now for the future, whatever happens eventually? Then I take it, this is the second question. then I was going to say another thing. The second thing I was going to say is that, well, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is now president-elect. Many people have congratulated him, including the vice president, Professor Osinbajo, who contested against him in the party primaries, including President of General Ibrahim Babangida, who says it's a thing of joy for him that a good man like Tinubu has emerged. And so many others like that who have been jubilating. And all the people who said that they will leave town, they will relocate abroad if Bola Tinubu wins. I've not heard that some of them have rushed to the airport. They are still around. So are you likely also to come around and congratulate the president-elect at some point?
I have already congratulated his doggedness and his belief in bullion van politics, conscienceless or not. But let me correct the impression you get that elites in the East did not support P2P. That can be so wrong. If you get 100 elite in the East, 95% of them will be supporting P2P in every way. Some people misguided, or I don't understand what happened. Made some statements that a person who is very surface will say it's right. Somebody said he cannot win. And now has he won? He has not won. He's even third though, not second. So those who said he wouldn't win will clap for them now. He has not won. But I think most Eastern people, Southeast, South, support, and the support is so massive. We're talking about 80-something% of the votes in most of those places, if you are looking at the right result. So I'm not going to move to America or to US. I'm a Nigerian. Here I was born, here I will die. I'm not moving because anybody is made president. But even those who made that statement, it's just a matter of emphasis of how things are. I don't think that anybody, but the judge is not going to leave tomorrow to India. But I appeal to all of us. We don't believe that we are so good, that we are so knowledgeable, we are so intelligent that we think through and believe what we have said or what we have done in the past are all correct. Please, I think we should remember that we were created by God. And that God in heaven who created us has all the power over everything, over election manipulation, over all kinds of anything. What God cannot do does not exist. Therefore, it is not over at all. And men to deny, we may not witness a swearing in, but maybe the ultimate person to be sworn in is P2P because he won the election overall.
All right.
But I'm not the authority to declare him the winner.
Yes, sir, you're very right. The only authority authorized to declare the winner of an election is INEC. The only body empowered to make such an announcement is INEC. And thus far, INEC has announced that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the president-elect and winner of the presidential elections from the 25th of February. But looking forward, beyond the Southwest,
Exactly.
beyond the Southwest elites, within some Southeast states, even your state, Anambra, the governor was clearly and very vocal about not being in support of Mr. Peter Obi. So there were divisions even amongst the people of the Southeast in terms of putting him forward, saying that he wasn't ready, she should come back in 4 or 8 years, and then it would be the turn of, be his turn to go ahead. What would you make of this, especially looking at what this gain of Mr. Peter Obi means for the Southeast as a people, and also for young people in particular who were game changers with regards to this election?
I'm not sure I understand. I know some people in office in the Southeast, some governors, made statements not very much commending Peter Obi, but all political power belongs to the people. And the vote is what we use to know what the people think. And all those who made any statements, in fact, some of them went even like tongues and changed some of the elections in some places in the south and southeast and the east. I mean, south and southeast. Some kill people. Many things happened. But I thank God that anybody who wants to know can study the election results, even the fake one, even the fake election from INEC, show improvements in human relations around the country. Then the general election is so massively beautiful. I don't know what else anybody can say. People make statements. Now they are in a position to correct themselves. Whether you are governor or whatever, you can make statements that are not based on some logical deduction. And I think because of your position, it will stick. Now, people have rejected all those statements. When 50% is a good score, but when you come to the state and get 84%, 70-something percent, what else are you talking about? It means the people don't know whom they are leading. A governor who makes a statement contrary to 84% of his own people cannot really clap for himself and say he knows what he's doing. So a billionaire doesn't have to have the intellect to know exactly what is going on in politics. Everybody should be forgiven, and let's settle down and rejig the system. If we can survive, the Igbo people will be very proud if their son manages to make Nigeria a more beautiful place. We will not require any privileges, any favoritism, just level playing field. So that's what I would tell you. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Chukwuemeka Ezeife, for joining us.
Thank you. We'll take a short break now. When we return, Nigeria Decides 2023 here on Arise News continues. Stay tuned.
Today, the Tony Elmelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program has trained over 1.5 million young African entrepreneurs. We have disbursed nearly $100 million to over 18,000 beneficiaries who have gone on to create over 400,000 jobs across Africa.
We need to do more for women in Africa. Empower a woman, you're empowering the whole society.
The Tony Elumelu Foundation gives access to a world-class business training and seed capital.
Thanks to the Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program, we've been able to structure our business and operations, but also we got the funding and financial needs to concretize it and make it happen.
This is the impact we want to achieve at the Tony Elmelu Foundation. The Tony Elmelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program is sector agnostic. The only thing that is important to us is your ideas. The future of Africa is in your hands.
Imagine your wallet can be everything. Well, almost everything your bank is to you. That's exactly what First Money Wallet is. First Money Wallet from First Bank is another swift and seamless way to bank from your mobile phone. It doesn't matter if you have a First Bank account or not, nor the mobile network you use. Everyone can open a First Money Wallet, and it's very easy. Your phone number is your account number. With First Money Wallet, you can send money using just a phone number, receive money, pay bills, buy airtime and data for yourself or someone else, and check balance. You don't need a bank account at all or BVN to enjoy the boundless possibilities First Money Wallet offers. All you need is a registered phone number, and you can fund your wallet easily through your First Bank account or any bank account and debit card. What's more, First Money Wallet is highly secure with fingerprint technology and PIN. And when you need cash, just walk up to any First Money agent near you to withdraw money. No smartphone, no wahala. Just dial *894*1# on any phone. So it doesn't matter if you live in the city or the remotest part of the country. With First Money Wallet, your transactions are easy, seamless, and secure. Download the First Money Wallet app now. Input your phone number and follow the prompts, or simply dial *894*1#. All money now on First Money. You first. First Bank.
As a player, there's nothing better than the roar of your crowd. But in Nigeria, there's a roar that may not be heard again. With fewer than 50 lions left, they could be extinct in the next few years, from loss of habitat and prey, and snares set for illegal bushmeat. So please, say no to illegal bushmeat. Let's keep the roar alive for Nigeria, because poaching steals from us all.
Are you a dealer in cars, jewelry, precious metals and stones and luxury goods? Are you into real estate, or are you an estate agent, surveyor, valuer, developer or broker? Are you into the hospitality industry, luxury business, or are you a mortgage broker, tax consultant, or an accountant? Do you have a supermarket, pools betting and consulting, or construction company? If you have, go and obtain your certification from the Special Control Unit Against Money Laundering, SCMOL, and be free to do your business within the ambits of the law. SCMOL has the responsibility to monitor, supervise, and regulate the activities of designated non-financial business and professions, DNFBPs, across the country. Please note that the SCMOL certificate is not a guarantee of legitimacy of any business. To register, visit www.skimol.org. For collection of certificate, visit any EFCC office nearest to you. Remember, registration is free.
SCMOL, securing Nigeria's business environment. This message is from Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC.
Welcome back to Nigeria Decides 2023 here on Arise News.
Now we're crossing live to the press conference on the 2023 Nigeria general elections here in Lagos, Ikeja. Let's take a listen.
To bear their mind on the process that just took place on the 25th of February. And I'd like at this point to call for a quick video that would precede the conversation. And I'd like you to just watch, and after that video, Ambassador Chris Iyama would be giving us an overview of their thoughts on the February 25th general elections of into the presidential, the office of the president and National Assembly. Can we have the video, please?
On this note, let me seize this opportunity to respond to a story emanating from a section of the media that the Commission has decided to jettison the uploading of polling unit level results in real time on election day. It should please be disregarded as fake news. The Commission will upload polling unit level results, and citizens will have access to those results in real time as we upload to the polling units. This innovation was introduced by the Commission. The Commission cannot turn around and undermine itself. So this technology has come to stay. We'll upload polling unit level results from the polling unit. Citizens will have the right to view these results. After all, who are we serving? The citizens. How can we deprive citizens from access to the results of the process conducted by them at the level of polling units? So I welcome you to the Commission. I want to assure you and reassure you that the 2023 general election is going to be our best ever elections. We are committed, and that the votes cast by Nigerians will determine the outcome of elections. Nothing more, nothing.
Of Omole Estate Phase 1 have gathered around the bus asking INEC to upload the presidential result. The result from the presidential election. Residents of Omole Estate Phase 1 Lagos have gathered around the bus. INEC officers are refusing to upload the presidential election result. They must upload it or else they will not leave this estate today.
Okay, guys, I discovered something very shocking. This is INEC result portal for this presidential. This is Abe-Ekiti. I decided to visit this Abe-Ekiti to come and see for myself. It will fear you what you will discover. So now we are in Abe-Ekiti. You see, you come down to go down toward what? Yes, do you see? Just go. You see, in front of Ezeife family house or whatever. Now click it. See, click it. My people, this is the this is the.
Well, Ambassador Chris Iyama would quickly address you and take us through their overview of the outcome of the 2023 presidential elections and the National Assembly elections. Ambassador Chris Iyama.
Fellow compatriots, members of the press, I want to thank you, members of the press, for coming here despite the short notice that we gave to you. I want to tag this press conference as democracy on trial and the truth must prevail. Delivered on this day, 2nd of March, 2023. Fellow citizens of this great country, Nigeria, it is with deep pains in our hearts that we are addressing this press conference on the 25th of February 2023. The good and peace-loving Nigerians, both young and old, came out en masse to carry out their civil responsibility by participating in the presidential and National Assembly election. The Citizen Observers Hub, which is a coalition of civil society organizations, mobilized over 2,700 citizen observers across Nigeria, including in FCT. We also deployed over 774 local government coordinators and also launched the Citizens Observers Hub in Jos, Nigeria on Friday, the 24th of February, 2023, which had over 30 data analysts observing, collating data from our field observers in the field across the country. There is no better organization and coalition to tell us what happened in the 2023 general elections other than the coalition of civil society organizations led by the Citizens Observers Hub. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Citizen Observers Hub, when we launched the Citizens Situation Room in Jos on the 24th of February, we brought in different key stakeholders to look at the necessary challenges that we might experience in the course of the election. Nobody told us that we're going to experience one or two challenges that will undermine democratic dividends in our country. We deployed our observers in over 2,700 polling units across the country. And our observers arrived at their different polling units as early as 6:44 a.m. in the morning, even before the arrivals of INEC officials. The 2023 general elections will remain in the minds of Nigerians as one of the worst elections in the history and ever conducted by the electoral body, the Independent National Electoral Commission, when it broke its own rules in the middle of the game, not minding the feelings of over 200 million citizens of this great country. It is a thing of concern to also have a report from the international observers that these elections fall short of international standard. The Citizen Observers Hub witnessed the arrival of INEC officials in southern Nigeria, late arrivals of materials in southern East Nigeria and southwest, a lot of misconduct and electoral irregularities. In some states in the south, we saw how sponsored talks of state apparatus, how they were intimidating voters across their different states. We also saw how most of them brought in doctored results just to falsify the electoral process. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen of the media, these elections can never be said to be free, fair, and credible. And so, even when the INEC chairman, when he was being interviewed some days before the election, somebody reminded him about the fact that there is ongoing news that the electoral guidelines will not be complied with and that they will not be transmitting results into the from the polling units down to the local government coalition center, even up to the international conference center. He said, and I quote, that it is only but a fake news and that first results will be collected at the polling unit and downloaded. It's going to be uploaded on the different online portals from the polling units. Little wonder, we did not know that the INEC, in connivance with its corrupt officials, went further to go ahead to upload results that it's not even free, fair, credible, and cannot be said that it is the wishes of Nigerians. Despite the collation of results, party agents and civil society organizations raised concern and draw the attention of the INEC chairman to the Electoral Act, which in his words, he said that he's going to look into the issues before the final announcement of the results. But in his usual manner, which he did not keep to his words, he went ahead to announce the results and declare a winner without looking into the issues raised by polling unit agents. This also will remind us of the dark days of Professor Maurice Iwu, who when election is going on, before the election is concluded, results are being announced. We don't want anybody to undermine the good democracy that we're enjoying in this country. For the first time in the history of our country, a result was declared, a winner announced, and you need to see the mood of citizens of this country. We observed elections across different polling units in this country, and from the results so far transmitted from our observers, what was being collated in Abuja did not meet up to what our observers sent into our data center. So we asked, what then is the credibility of the 2023 general elections? And so, as a body which has more than 10 million Nigerians, and 10 million Nigerians are listening to us, 10 million young Nigerians are listening to us as we speak, we do not want anybody to undermine the peace that we're enjoying in this country. And that's the reason why we are addressing the media, so that the whole world will know what actually took place on the 25th of February, 2023. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I want to really call on the international community not to buy into the idea that we conducted a free, fair, and credible election. Because from even what they have said, the election has fallen short of international best practices. How can you be conducting election where more than half of your beavers deployed into the pools were not working? Most of the accreditation channels that they ought to observe weren't functioning, and then you are going ahead. In some polling units of this country, nobody observed the protocols as observed in the electoral guidelines signed into law by Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari. Lastly, in some parts of the north, we saw videos, even some of our electoral, some of our polling unit observers witnessed how underage voters were thumbprinting in their different ballot boxes and using their different ballot papers. One cannot really say that this election went through the way of the citizens as expected, according to electoral guideline. And so one would have expected that hence that civil society organization, observers group, international community have said in their statements that the election falls short into the best international best practices. One would have thought that in some of those polling units that even election did not hold, one would have thought that election would have been organized in those areas. Some of those places where we saw videos flying right, left, and center about how some state governors were intimidating and harassing innocent citizens who came out to vote. One would have thought that those places, results would have been annulled and other fresh election. Why did the INEC chairman in the middle of the night change the rule of the game? Not observing the process. So these are the issues we are looking out to. And we are expecting that, of course, we are not saying that citizens should undermine the peace that we're enjoying in this country. We are asking of every good citizen of this country to remain calm while things are being sorted out. But to cut the long story short, this election of 25th February 2023 cannot be said that it is free, it is not fair, it is not credible, and it has fallen short of international best practices. And so we're expecting that the different groups, different coalitions will head to court and ensure that justice will be served. Let me say this before I round up, that this coalition is not in support of any political party. We are not for APGA, we are not for PDP, we are not for APC, and we cannot be for Labour Party. We are representing the interest of the well-meaning citizens of this country who INEC accredited to vote and who had their permanent voters card. Between last year and between 2 years ago and last year, and even in January, we went about around the street in the 704 local governments of this country, conducting voters awareness campaign, reiterating the fact that vote will count. We told citizens to come out en masse. This election, young people came out en masse to cast their votes, and they were denied their fundamental human rights. And it's quite unfortunate. This is not the kind of democracy we envisage, and this is not the way to go. And so, we are asking the international community not to recognize the purported results and the announcements released by the Independent National Electoral Commission. We are calling for help because this is the time when nations ought to support Nigeria, to support its democratic process. You cannot bring up a leader in a country where you had over 93 million registered voters, and out of those 93 million registered voters, lots of those, more than 60% or 70% of those registered voters were disenfranchised. So you cannot say that the election is free, fair, and credible. Maybe I'll come back and I'll hand over to my colleagues. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Chris Yama. We will now hear from Mr. Mike Nwambafo. Sorry, Ambassador Paul.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. All protocols observed. In accordance to the provision of the Electoral Acts, Section 60 and Section 64, subsection 4, these quoted portions of the Act states in parts that there will be transmission of results in real time directly from the polling units. And not too long ago, we just saw a video from the INEC chairman who stated vertically that he is going to ensure that every result is transmitted live from the polling units and for everyone to see it. We will recall that INEC and the chairman of INEC did not go in line with what he said in that video. The INEC chairman had just told us that this is what is going to happen, but we realize that it was a different display. INEC has failed to follow the electoral guidelines as stated in the Electoral Acts. We also know that in Section 44, Section 47, subsection 3, it states that wherever the beavers fail and cannot be replaced, the elections in that polling units should be cancelled and a rerun scheduled. But we saw that the areas where beavers have failed and were not replaced, INEC still had results coming from those polling units, results that were not uploaded in real time directly to the INEC server. My question is this: where did they get the results from? Where did the officials get the results from? These are the questions only the INEC chairman can answer. The acts by INEC, who's supposed to be an independent body, has put a lot of Nigerians in wonder. Was there really an election where each electorate gets his or her counting votes? Or was it an allocation vote? It looks to me to be that the votes were allocated by INEC. What's the guarantee that the next week coming election, the gubernatorial and state House of Assembly elections, will be fair? Should over 90 million Nigerians put their trust in this same body? What's the guarantee that the forthcoming election will be free and fair? These are questions that only the INEC officials can answer. And it's high time we Nigerians begin to ask these questions. We must also remember that the election, that the democracy we enjoy today came to us at a price. It is of all importance that we do not compromise the costs of maintaining and sustaining this democracy that we have. The country has suffered a lot from several political sections. This is the most attended election in the past decade in Nigeria, where almost every citizen wants to be a part of it. We call on every good citizen of Nigeria to lend a voice to this madness, lend a voice to this inappropriate conduct of the electoral body. And we call on the INEC chairman to please redress these views before the next election. Because if we cannot get it right from the presidential election, we are not sure that the gubernatorial and the state House of Assembly elections will be right. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Paul. Questions. And these questions are begging for answers, and they are coming from our young people. They are coming from those who have observed the elections. And I think those who have the responsibility to provide answers to these questions are ticking the boxes, and they would be providing these answers and ensuring that the right things are done. We would like to also hear from Mike Obina.
Thank you very much. Good day, members of the press. Good day, Nigerians. And I thank you all for tuning in. I will tell you that my future has been stolen. I'm just going to be very straight. I'm not a man of too much English. This is an election that made Nigerians believe that we don't have a future, especially the young ones. I'm 30-something, and if this election is allowed to go this way, in the next 8 years, I will be close to 40. And I will tell you that I, personally, and my group, I am the president of Youth in Politics. We cannot accept this result. I was there when a young lady was stabbed. I mean, stabbed on the face just because she came to vote for her candidate. I was there also. I saw it live when thugs and policemen in uniform, I am not saying citizens, policemen in uniform, snatched ballot boxes. Snatched. They left with ballot boxes. Is this the election we are going to allow in Nigeria? Today, I put it to you that this election cannot be accepted. I am not being too inquisitive about this. I am being very diplomatic, and at the same time, I am begging Nigerians, if you accept this election, it's going to be another 8 years. We are not supporting any political party. No, all we need is, we need credible election. We need INEC to sit up. If possible, INEC chairman should step down, because my children, life depends on this. If we don't get it right, we have failed as Nigeria. We have failed the world. Go and check your friends, check your sisters and brothers. They are all leaving this country and they are tired. I, Michael Nwabufo, will not accept the 2023 election conducted by INEC. That was vote allocation, not election. I will put it to you that I will stand and defend myself anywhere. I was trained well. I know where I came from. 2006, I was a street boy. Nowhere, I was lost. And then I found myself, I struggled with the help of the organization that helped me. Today, I am who I am, and I'm still suffering the same bad leadership I experienced when I was young. And you are telling me to accept this election. I alone, I represent over 6 million Nigerians. I am telling you, we are many. INEC, please, we beg you, do the necessary things and make sure that this election, we have another election and we come out in numbers and vote. We want a rerun of this election. I'm not joking. Look at me very well. I'm not joking. And if you are impressed person, make sure you air this. And if you don't air it, that means you are sponsored. We want a rerun. We shouldn't be going to another election. What are we going to vote in governorship? Who are we voting for? If we cannot ascertain the election, the presidential election, if we cannot trust the credibility of the 2023 presidential election, how can we trust the governorship election? We can't trust INEC again. I'm so sorry I'm being so emotional about this. But this is what I am charging the whole Nigerians, the youth, mother, father, children, don't accept this, because it's going to be another 8 years of evil. And we are calling on international press and other organizations, come to our rescue. If you try and put a blind eyes on it, God will judge you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think at this time, thank you. Again, questions from our young people, passionate citizens begging for answers. At this point, I think members of the press would like to ask questions as well. So we must give them the opportunity to ask their own questions. So if you have a question for the panelists, would like to pass the mic to you. Step out and then ask your question. I'm sure. Just indicate, and then you can let us know your media, and then go ahead and ask your questions. Please keep it short and straight to the point. Please step out so
Thank you for this opportunity. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, members of the press. My name is Ibokwe McDonald. I'm Director of Administration and Youth in Politics. I have a few questions for one. Okay, allow me choose the most important. Okay, now we've seen what has happened. Variously have been described as a charade. Some call it allocation, some call it coronation, but we're given option to go for go to the courts to seek redress. I'm asking the panelists, what opportunities are available for us to get this, how do I put it, this display of drama upturned in the law court, knowing the antecedents of a Nigerian judiciary? Thank you very much.
So clearly he's asking.
Sorry, please, can you repeat that clearly? You say what allocations are available? I didn't hear you properly, please. Sorry.
Okay, my question is, what opportunities are available? What are the possibilities of getting this election upturned through the law courts? That's the question.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are not the justices of we are not the justices of all the courts in this country, and we're expecting that the candidates of the elections put up a very strong case before the judges, and especially when the cases come up before the election tribunal. And so for these reasons, we may not necessarily give unnecessary answer to that. It is left for the candidates who felt aggrieved to approach the courts, and if need be, if the court feels they have a strong case against the 2023 general elections, so be it. Let justice be done. That's it.
We would also, as observers, provide evidence to the aggrieved parties who would want to take the case up to courts, because as observers, we have tons of evidence like the ones we just played on the screen. And before we leave here, we also have videos of violence and voters intimidation, which we are going to be playing on the screen as well. So the parties that are aggrieved that would like to go to courts should do it fast. And if they reach out to us, we will provide real-time evidence, because with what we know as at now, if you check the INEC portal, if you followed and you check the INEC portal on the day of election, you will realize that the votes the results were not uploaded. But right now, check the same ward and the same polling units, you will see results uploaded there. You see? So INEC is covering their tracks. And I want to challenge the chairman of INEC. I have proof that votes results were not uploaded in real time. We have the videos. So we are checking today on the same polling units and results are uploaded. So you are covering your tracks, Mr. Chairman. And we are not going to take that. So if any agreed party wants proof of what we are saying, we can be contacted. But we are not the ones to take INEC to court. We are observers. Thank you so much. Any other question? There's a question here, please.
Thank you very much. Standing on the existing protocols. My name is Mayor John Ezeife. The atmosphere in Nigeria currently has been heated up by this fraud committed against Nigerians by the INEC chairman. As observers, the INEC chairman told us that the PVAS machine will work. And that is the reason the whole Nigerians, even some who have never voted in their life before, they came out en masse to vote. But getting to the polling unit, we'll find out that that is a fraud. Please, as observers, have you written your report to international communities concerning that fraud meted against innocent Nigerians and citizens of this country? Thank you very much.
We have our reports being put in place, and our report will be ready just immediately after the governorship election. Because like I said earlier, we deployed over 2,700 observers across the polling units of this country. We also deployed 774 local government coordinators who observed the process from the local government level. And we had over 30 data analysts at our Citizens Observers Hub and Data Center in just Nigeria, where even some of the international communities visited to see our data center, and as well as the domestic observers, political parties, and of course the electoral body themselves. So at the end of the day, we are putting forward our reports, and I can tell you for free that our reports will be made public immediately after the governorship election. We're in the process of compiling those reports, and it will be made available when the time comes. Thank you.
Let me also add to that. The entire coalition has vast of information to share to any political party that is aggrieved. We are open to discussions. We are not affiliated to a particular political party. So we want justice for the voters. We want every electorate to be counted for. We want democracy to be upheld in this country. So yes, like my colleague has said, the reports will be made available, and evidence. I am very, very concerned about the evidence, because INEC chairman is covering his tracks right now. Right now. If you click on the INEC portal today, the same local government and ward you checked on the 25th, there is no results. Today, there's results. Where did it come from? So we want everybody to work together to restore the democracy we have in this country. Thank you. Do we have any other question? Okay.
Please,
is that all we can take?
There's somebody that spoke about the law going to court. Please, Where are you, please? Mr. Mark, is that you? You were Mark? He said something about going to court. Please, we want to use this opportunity to plead with the Chief Justice of the Federation. If we head to court, please be fair. Because recently I realized that the Chief Justice of the Federation interfered in politics. I have never seen it happen anywhere. The Chief Justice of the Federation said, and I quote, that he is happy that his governor is among whatever party he is not supposed to be so.
You've been watching the press conference by Citizens Observers Hub on the 2023 Nigeria General Elections holding in Ikeja, Lagos. And that's all from all of us here. Rotusodiri Vimbai, Muntihiri Ekpenyong, and Cynthia Are will be here next to take you through the next session of Nigeria Decides.
The game changer was the INEC, was the use and introduction of the beavers. The beavers in this election was supposed to be the game changer. And one of the procedures, the guidelines that INEC gave us, that was the most important among all the several guidelines, was the uploading of the reports, the polling unit results in real time to the IREV website. And that was not done. So what we observed was allocation of results at the collation center. And the question now is, why was the rush? INEC violated its own guidelines they gave to Nigeria. So why the rush? When you have violated your own guidelines, you told us results will be uploaded to the website in real time. That was not done. Why the rush? This is what happened. INEC tells us we are breaking the law, we want to keep breaking the law, and we will go ahead and announce the winner after we have broken the law, and whatever party who is not satisfied should go to the court. We understand the tricks. Take the poison, keep taking the poison, and then thereafter go to the hospital. And we know the road, what the trick is. They are telling us to go to the court. We don't have faith in the court. It is still in this same country. Somebody came fourth in the governorship election. We took the case to the court, and the mandate was given. It was stolen. It is still in this same country. A man who didn't run from primary election was given the mandate. So we don't have confidence in the court. And that is the tricks. That is where they played us. They tricked us, allocated the result, and now they are pushing us to the court. It is not fair. So I want the international community to be aware that the 25th February election, the presidential election in Nigeria, was far from being fair, credible, and transparent. And we are saying this cannot stand. It is unacceptable. This is a slap to the Nigerian citizen. This is a slap to the Nigerian youth.
Thank you very much.
This was not.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, distinguished members of the media. I think the issues are clear. Okay, one more question. Please let it be a question, because we
also like to have the last video, the violence video.
You have a video,
yes.
Okay. Please keep it short. Let it be a question indeed, not a lecture.
Just a question.
Please, can you come forward to this? Come forward, please.
You don't have to stay on
Okay, you don't want to be on the screen. Okay, it's fine.
Yeah, as an observer, I just noticed in your speech and in other contributions, you said you're not supporting any political party, that you want justice for Nigeria. Then my question is, what options are you open to? If you say the election was maybe an addition of numbers, are you willing to go to court? Or are you willing to support those that will go to court? Then the last man who made a contribution here said he does not, that you do not believe in the courts. Now, as Democrats, if you say it was rigged in quotes, and as Democrat, the other option open to you is to go to seek justice in court. And on one breath again, you're telling the international community and the media that you don't believe in the courts. Don't you see it as very contradictory? So exactly my question is, what do you want after this election?
Thank you for that. Let me quickly say this, that we still have faith and hope and we believe in the judiciary. And for that reason, because of the kind of data we're going to be publishing after the governorship election, it is open to Nigerian citizens. They can go to the website, they can download it. Whosoever wants to use it to approach the court is good and fine. But let me say this again. We believe we believe in the judicial process of this country, and we want the law to take its full course. We do not, what we're only saying is that we don't want the interference, unnecessary interference of anybody that would create suspicion in the process. We are quite aware that if we're witnessing the kind of unrest happening in this country, it's as a result of the kind of judicial pronouncement of recent. So we're using this opportunity to call on the judiciary to stand firm, especially when the cases of this election will be brought before them. That's just what we're saying. We believe in the court process, and we want aggrieved citizens of this country not to take laws into their hand, but to approach the court. And when it comes to that process, our data are available online and it can be accessed. Thank you.
On this note, we will take the final video. I'm told there's another video. So please, let's have that video play out. And we do hope in the coming hours and days, answers can be provided to the questions that our young people are asking all across the country, whom this group, the Citizens Observers Hub, represent, a coalition of civil society organizations. Distinguished members of the media, thank you very much for your participation in this World Media Conference. God bless you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you. In case you still want to take private questions with them, they are available and you can take them up on more issues. I think the conversation continues.
We've just been listening to a World Press Conference delivered by the Citizens Observers Hub live from Ikeja, Lagos, where the coalition of civil society organizations have expressed their displeasure at the management of the just concluded presidential elections across the nation. They also shared various videos as they were shared to them by citizens from around the country. They called for calm and restraint from all citizens of Nigeria and requested that that people await and see what will happen as the process goes into court proceedings as expected. The Citizens Observers Hub also said that they have a lot of data concerning the elections that they will share after the governorship elections. Now, we're going to go on a very quick break. However, Nigeria decides after this. Stay tuned.
The 2023 general election is the second general election since the passage of the Not Too Young to Run Act.
About 28.6%, which is over 4,000 young candidates between 25 to 35 years of age, are contesting for various elective offices across Nigeria. These young men and women with competence, capacity, and character need your support to win.
The 2023 election is an election of rebuilding this great nation and restoring hope through our vote. Imagine a government with 30% young elected leaders with competence, capacity, and character.
It begins with one vote, your vote. These young candidates are deciding Nigeria's future today.
Our future
depends on your vote.
What does it take to run a mega city? Before a pilot earns his wings, he spends hundreds of hours in training. A neurosurgeon needs 16 years before earning his title. So why would you leave running a city of 20 million people to inexperienced hands? Lagos is Africa's 4th largest economy, the continent's 2nd largest megacity. Would you hand over this great state to just anyone? Someone without the necessary experience to move Lagos forward? It takes decades of experience to run this Lagos. 20 years of building, 20 years of delivering, 20 years of service. Sanwo for Iku, Iku for Sanwo.
Introducing an all-time mega offer. Get over 50% discount in the Airtel Home Broadband mega offer. Buy a router for just 10,000 naira and get up to 240 gigabyte or a Wi-Fi for 5,000 naira and get up to 125 gigabyte bonus data. More data. More you. Reliable home broadband by
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Dream business revolt. Vote is the answer. Salary earners. Vote is entrepreneurs.